From Prairie Lodge, this is the Sun City Report, a program to keep you up to date on what's happening in Sun City, Huntley. Your host is your fellow Sun City resident, WGN's Orion Samuelson.
Welcome back to this edition of Sun City Report, where we bring you up to date on some things you should know about what's happening in the community of Sun City, and also if you have some plans to change things outside the house. I think you'll find it interesting as we talk to Lucia Matlock, Community Standards Advisor. Lucia, what does that mean?
Well, the association has standards that have been set forth for any modifications that may be done to an individual property. But when people move here to Sun City, they are attracted to the beauty of the community, and that's a very important aspect of having the association in place because that's protected. So our department, my job in the department is to make sure that if anyone has modifications that they're planning to do, they would meet with me and put together an application for change that would go to the modifications committee, and that's reviewed. And then they would find approval or approval as noted, etc., on the projects that they may have to do. I provide guidance to any of the residents that might need help through that process, and it's very painless, to be honest. People sometimes are afraid to look into those things, but it is very quick and easy, especially through the warmer months when there's a lot of modifications occurring on the properties. We meet weekly with the modifications committee so that approval comes pretty quick.
So any change outside, if I want to plant a tree, if I want to do a patio, if I want to put bricks alongside the asphalt driveway, all of that is
Correct.
What you look at.
Correct. Even as far as painting your front door, if you have a satellite dish installed, that's been something that's come up in recent months. You want to make sure that you're in touch with my department to make sure your approval and your paperwork is all in order for that.
When it comes to paperwork, are there some common omissions that show up on the application form when it reaches you?
Yeah, quite often people will neglect to include the pieces of material that are necessary for them to be approved by the modifications committee. And I oftentimes will go through all of the files before they're submitted. And I find that the plat of survey is very commonly missed. That's something that needs to be included in almost every application, as well as if you're working on any projects outside of your privacy area on your property, then you want to make sure you have neighborhood approval or neighbors' consent for those types of projects. So we do try to weed through and make sure that things are complete before they go before the committee.
Once I walk in the front door, then what I do is up to me, and you don't get involved in that inside the
True.
house.
Interior changes, and we don't have anything to do with that.
And then just a final quick question. If I give you the plans and then halfway through decide I'd like to change this, do I have to come back to you and discuss any change?
Yes, if you've had approval for a project and you decide that it needs to be changed, or if your contractor decides there's a change in the project, you would need to resubmit that information.
And where do we find you? How do we get in touch?
My office line is 847-515-7748, and I'm available Monday through Friday. I also have appointment times available, open door, Monday through Friday in the mornings from 9 a.m. to 11:30, so people can come in and have a consultation if they need to visit with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lucia Matlock. She is Community Standards Advisor here in Sun City.
This is the Sun City Report. Your host is your fellow Sun City resident, WGN's Orion Samuelson.
We talk more about activity here in Sun City now with Bill Panock, Executive Director of our group here in this beautiful setting that, Bill, continues to be well maintained and beautiful. But the last time we talked about this huge piece of equipment going on the roof. Did it get there, and is it working?
It got there, and it's working better than we anticipated. It's called the Munter unit, and it conditions the indoor area for the indoor pool. We've been saving some utilities as far as gas consumption, and we've been very happy with this. It's keeping the relative humidity in the pool area a lot better than the previous unit did. So I think all the way around we made the right choice. And it finally got up there with the biggest crane that is allowed on the highway system in the state of Illinois. So $15,000 just to get the permit to bring the crane down the road.
And then you had to pay for the crane.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the other thing we talked about was a new restaurant. It's here. I love it. What's the reaction?
I think the last time I was here, we're right in the process of vetting out some of the bidders. And luckily, Jameson's came out on top. They opened up mid-April, and we've been very happy with their performance. A lot of good compliments from the membership. I know the membership has been patronizing not only the restaurant and the pub, but also doing a lot of catering events through Drendel and through the solarium. And we've been very happy with the partnership so far.
And I know I have, because we enjoy their food and we enjoy the ambience. It's nicely done. What about the sales area? What's happening there?
Okay, I think the last time we spoke, the Pulte Corporation at the first part of 2011 had just vacated the old sales center, and we collectively, being the association since mid-2000s, had been in the planning process through the Transition Steering Committee, which morphed into the Sales Center Conversion Committee.
Yes.
And we've been going through 4 different phases of renovation and planning for when they did finally vacate the sales area. Long story short, the planning process, we were able to let a contract in April with Foxfield Construction. We had hired an architect, PHN Architects, who were the original architects for Prairie Lodge through Del Webb. They came in and worked with the committee, came up with some design ideas, and we named the new area Fountain View Center. We're right now probably 95% complete. We're looking to take a certificate of occupancy for the area sometime in mid-December. Foxfield has also been doing some work down in the lower level office areas. We've done some rearranging and some reorganizing, and they're taking an old conference room and turning it into a training room. We like to try to keep staff trained as much as possible, and that requires room space, and we did not want to take room space away from the membership, so now we have a dedicated training/conference area for staff. The old CAM area, which is behind the existing member services desk, is being turned into storage, into a craft room. The lifestyles department, who used to be in the CAM area, has now moved down to the old design center of the sales center. And that now is the office space for governance and standards and for the lifestyle and activities. And after the first of the year, member services desk will operate out of the old sales center desk. We're calling it Fountain View Center. We've got capability to have the same amount of people down in the Fountain View Center as we do in Drendel, approximately 350. And we can partition to have 6 different rooms going on at the same time in the new member multi-purpose area.
We look forward to the grand opening.
It's going to be nice.
We're out of time. We had a lot to talk about, and time is gone. But thank you again for keeping us posted on what's happening.
Thank you, and on behalf of the board, the staff, happy holidays to everybody.
Okay, that's Bill Panock, Executive Director, here on this edition of Sun City Report.
This has been the Sun City Report. Your host is your fellow Sun City resident, WGN's Orion Samuelson.